So Austin, man, how long have you been in Austin?
I've been in.
You were in Austin. You're out of Austin now, but you were in Austin for a long time.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I first moved to Austin when I left Harlingen. When I I got my hairdresser's license. When here and I moved to Austin, and probably like I don't know, 84, 85, something like that. I was cutting hair up there, and
30 some years.
yeah, man. And I was there for a little while. I wasn't there for real long, maybe about a year.
When you moved there, it was blues, man.
Oh, man.
It was
blues and punk rock. You know, the big punk rocks. And you had the Big Boys and the Offenders and Bad Mother Goose and Texas Instruments and so much of the punk rock, I guess alternative scene. I hate alternative. But, and then you had your metal and stuff, too, going on. So, and you had all the blues, and 6th Street wasn't some place that you wanted to go. 6th Street, you didn't go to 6th Street unless you were a dirty, disheveled punk rocker or a drug dealer or a biker or something, because it just wasn't a party place. It was dirty. It was nasty. South Congress was drug dealers and hookers all over the place. And now they're both, tourist traps. That's all tourism, but it's still now people like me who were dirty, nasty punk rockers back then, we look at it and we're like, I'll never go down there again. It's just, it's the way it's turned around. It's been crazy, but
they cleaned it up then.
I loved it, sort of.
So you were.
They say they cleaned it up,
but when you got there, it was dirty, and then and then you saw the evolution of 6th Street.
I saw it go down for a while, and then like I said, I moved away, moved back to New York, and when I came back to Austin, and I came back again in probably the late '80s for a small time, and I was actually a drug dealer for a little while. And I rode a skateboard up and down, Guadalupe to downtown. And then back up, and I was just
making deliveries.
Downtown. Oh yeah, man! On a skateboard, just all around 6th Street, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, just riding around on a skateboard, man. Just delivering with a beeper.
Yeah, back in the 90s.
The pain phone. Where you at?
Yeah, wow.
Those little paper envelopes, with the 20s in them. Oh yeah, that was my job.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man. Crazy times. But then
you were banking then, huh?
Pretty much, man. I was making this the first time I had a gunshot off next to me, right next to my head.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Ouch. That's don't piss off your dealers, people.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
And then it's a college
memory.
town too, man. You got University of Texas, St. Edwards. I mean,
I was everywhere. Dude. I mean, just like all the people just
from all over the world, dude.
But the music was glorious then. It was new and fresh, and everybody wanted original material. And you had Stevie Ray Vaughan playing over at the Black Cat. Then you had City Lights, and you had Continental, which has always been there, and just all these wonderful places, and all kinds of music coming through and all kinds of new bands farming up. And
back then they had the Back Room, I think.
Yeah. The Back Room.
The metal place.
The Ritz was the metal place on 6th Street, man. That was like, it's now the Alamo Draft House now. But when it was the Ritz, man, we saw Anthrax, Slayer, all kinds of bands there. And that place only held like 500 people, man. And you see Slayer when Kerry King still had hair.
Yeah.
And
then Emos and Steamboat and Joe's Generic Bar.
Oh my God,
I love that little bar, dude.
Places.
The bars were like, man, dude, it was a lot of fun on 6th Street checking out the music.
Oh man, I loved it. I just see all kinds of bikers and just all kinds of just crazy stuff going down there all the time. And it was always like an eye-opening experience all the time, and I miss it. I miss that old Austin, but change is inevitable.
Yeah.
It's the way it is, and it's as much as I could complain about it.
No,
it is what it is.
It's like complaining about tech and and
that's what's happened,
and the internet and all that. I mean, you're not stopping it.
Nope, it's going to be there. So you can do one of two things. You can either complain about it, you can walk away from it, or you can just take advantage of all that money that's there right now. So
embrace it.
Being a band, take it and take their money. Figure out. Like a friend of mine told me the other day. My friend Clay, and Clay is the sound man at Seaboys in the Continental in Austin, and he said, AJ, there's always $100 sitting on the floor that nobody's claiming. So you have to figure out how to get that $100 or however much it is. So you always have to think of scheming ways to get more money in the tip jar or get more money in your pocket when you're a musician. And now is the time, because you got all these people there, and there's kind of I don't want to call it an attack on live music, but there's a big thing going on where, musicians want to get paid more, or at least get paid. And that's a big thing that I'm an advocate for, is like, I don't care who you are, what your level of music is, you got to get paid. You work hard, you buy your gear, you travel, you get there, you're learning, you're taking lessons, and every time you do that, it's just like you're going to college. So you need to get paid. It's and if you're doing it for fun, to just because you like to play out, well then, you know, stay in your garage.
Because
don't take up the time of the real musicians who are out there trying to make a living at this thing. You know, have a party at your house, and all your friends can come over, and it's a blast, and you can play for fun. But when you're taking money out of my pocket and taking food off my table because you're just having fun, well, that's, you know, hey man, it's cool that you're out there playing, but I mean, I know that sounds kind of bad. I may lose some friends on that one, but it's just, I'm a working musician, man. I have a lot of working musician friends that are getting displaced. They're like losing their homes in Austin because people don't want to pay anymore. They don't want to up the pay. They don't want to pay. And the clubs and the places are finding that to be acceptable, and the musicians are not. You know, there's people moving there. There's kids coming there every day looking for the dream. They want to be a musician. They want to get signed, South by Southwest and all this stuff. And these kids end up, you know, going back home with their, you know, tail between their legs because they couldn't find a gig or they couldn't find, you know, a band, and they just, you know, they thought it was going to be this big thing, and they're out there playing for $10, 10% of the bar, or things like that, you know, and the bars don't care, the clubs don't care, because there's, for every band that says, I want $400 for 3 hours, they'll go, sorry, see that band behind you? They'll do it for 3. The band behind them will do it for 2, and then you just go down the line until you get to see those guys way back there. They'll do it for 2 beers and 10% of the bar, or they'll do it for tips. You know, and how do I compete against that?
And if they don't do it, we'll get a DJ.
We'll get a DJ. We'll get Joe Corral.
Joe Corral.
I love you, Joe Corral. But man, and that's what unfortunately what we're looking at up there. You know, we're looking at a music scene that is, I mean, look, there is no brighter music scene in the country than in Austin, Texas. You cannot find the diversity that you can find there. Country, Tejano, punk rock, metal, death metal, all of it, Zydeco, blues, R&B, country, red dirt, we go on and on for days about what I can see when I go downtown in Austin, Texas. There's over 200 bands playing in like,
it's
a 6 block bar, and you can see anything you want. Some of the best bands I've ever seen. Eric Tessmer cut his teeth down there. Now he's huge. You know, Brad Park. I mean, there's just so many great musicians that are down there that have gone on to do
Charlie Crockett.
Yeah,
I want to go see Charlie Crockett. Yeah,
you know, Carson Alexander. So many great people and so many great people that I met going down there. Man, I loved it. When I started playing on 6th Street, I would just play at one bar, and I'd get done, and on my breaks, I'd run across the street and go see another buddy of mine real quick. And on the next break, I'd go over here to see another buddy of mine. And then at the end of the night, there we all were, loading out our gear and just scooping each other up. Okay, where are we going? And then there'd be all these musicians at a house party somewhere, all of us playing until 4 or 5 in the morning. So, and it was beautiful, man. But now it's like, it just doesn't seem like it's happening that way.
Well, you moved out of Austin.
Yeah, and I'm out of Austin.
You're living in Lockhart now.
Oh, yeah, man, I love it. My wife and I got out.
You evolved out of Austin.
Yeah, man, it was time to go. I think just people, it's cool as it is there. You know, there's just some attitudes that are out there nowadays, and it seems it's not conducive. It's toxic.